well, I wanted to encourage you with some things that God has been challenging my own life with. You know, just recently we've been talking with our church about doing the outrageous for God. But I was really challenged in my own walk with God of, well, actually, am I being outrageous? You know, we run the church here, and for my husband and I, we're raising our children and doing ministry together. But all of those things, when you put them together, they look busy, they look full on, but I'm not sure all the time that it's actually outrageous, that it's that thing that is the real big, huge stretch that you go, wow, I read my Bible like you read yours, and I listen to the stories and I learn of the stories of the Esthers that actually did something crazy, approached the king and stood there knowing that she could perish for what she was about to do. I read about Daniel in a lion's den of all places, going there knowing this could end very badly, but knowing that it was the outrageous that he had to do to stand up for his faith in God. I read all the stories in the Bible and they challenge my own life because they were just ordinary people that did something outrageously brave, outrageously courageous, and sometimes people would say maybe outrageously stupid, but they did it knowing that God was at the other side of their faith. And I'm challenging my life, and therefore I want to challenge you. What can you do that will take you that step beyond where you are? You know, that we can get so comfortable where we're at. We can settle very easily into a routine, into what our life looks like. We can keep our life at a level that just is manageable. And I was reading recently with the church here about the life of Jonah, and how Jonah, even after God had sent him to Nineveh, after a whale, that was pretty outrageous, after that experience of seeing the whole nation turn to God, he still sat down in a place where he sought his own comfort. The Bible says in Jonah 4 that he sat under a vine that God actually gave him to ease his discomfort. But he made the mistake of getting too comfortable under the vine. He sat in a place that was supposed to be for temporary relief, making it a place of his permanent comfort. And God had to send a worm to eat the vine to remind him, this is not what your calling looks like. And I don't know about you, but I think in life we can settle under vines that God meant for temporary relief, but we want to make them our permanent places to camp out. But I pray in my own life, and therefore in yours, that where we need it, God would send the worm to eat the vine, to remove the thing that we are sheltered under, to let us see the bigger picture. See, God said to Jonah, it's not right you're bothered about a vine when you're not bothered about thousands and thousands of people who could perish without me. And I think God is asking us to align our concerns with His, to align our hearts with His, to be concerned about the things that really matter, to be moved enough by the things we see that God says we are the answer to be bothered enough to get up from under our vine and to do something outrageous. Maybe for you, the outrageous is getting involved in your community. Maybe it's giving. Maybe it's sowing a financial seed. Maybe it's writing a letter of forgiveness. Maybe it's stepping out and doing that thing that you know God has asked you to do. I don't know where this finds you, but I do know that all of us can take another step that increases our faith and gives God that gap to work with in our lives. And so I'm encouraging you, what can you do? Where can you start to move from that place of containment and go into that place of doing something that's more outrageous for the God who is more than able to do all that we ask, think, or imagine. And so when you step out, God will meet you in that step. So go for it. Send your testimonies. Let us know what you're doing. Only this week, I've had testimonies come back. Even a 7-year-old boy that went to his headmaster and said, I want to have a Bible class in my lunch break and I want to be able to run it. And he was refused. But he prayed with his friend. A 7-year-old friend went back to the teacher and the teacher granted him permission. Outrageous. At 7, he's reaching people. He's now led people to Christ through his Bible club at school. At age 7, he understands I can either stop where people say no or I can push beyond, believing that God will honor it. So go for it. If you are older than 7, then you are able to do something. Get out of your seat, get out away from your computer and go do something that God says that's the outrageous for you. Love you, praying for you. Your best days are ahead, so go for it.